Angela Walters with quiltingismytherapy.com, and I'm back with another fun machine quilting tutorial. The feather meander is a great variation of the basic feather design, but the great thing about it is it's quick and easy to quilt. We're basically taking a swirl and adding the feathers along the outside of the swirl. What this means is if you're not comfortable with the basic idea of the feather, or you're not totally confident that it's going to look great on your quilt, then this meander is a great way to practice the basic shape. Because as you're filling in the area, all you're going to see is the overall texture and not so much the individual feathers. So it makes it great for beginners. But it's also great because it has that nice kind of fluid, more girly touch to your quilts. So if you need something that's a little bit more than just a regular meander, the feather meander is for you. So no more talking, let's get right to the design. To quilt the feather meander, you're going to start with an elongated swirl, stopping in the center. Then I'm going to work my way back out of the swirl by quilting the petals to my feather. The first one is actually going to look a little different than the rest. It's almost like a little arc. Then you're going to work your way back out of the swirl along the spine by quilting the petals in a half-heart kind of shape. Basically, you want them to come out and come back in so that they look like they're merging into the stem of that feather. Then you're going to work your way all the way down back to where you first started the swirl. Just like that. And as you can see, I'm trying to make it touch the stem, but I'm not stressing out too much about it. And then at that point, you're going to work your way back by echoing around the feather that you just quilted. Now this is actually an optional part of the design. You could leave this out if you'd like, but I just love the way echoing makes it look. And this is what the feather looks like when it's quilted. Now let's talk about using this in a meander in which we're quilting that feather shape over and over again to fill in the space as consistently as possible. Now as I'm working my way through the quilt, I'm just extending that swirl into the areas that I have room for it, and then using the feathers to fill up around it. Just working my way around and really kind of trying to fill in that area. Now the great thing about this design is that you can make those petals any shape you want. They could be longer and skinnier, they can be shorter and wider. It's really up to you. And echoing, like I've already said, is a great part of the design in my opinion. I think it makes it look a lot different. But it's also a great way to move your way around the quilt. So if you find yourself stuck in a corner and you're not sure how to get out to the other side, just try echoing what you've already quilted. And as you're trying to fit these feathers together, you can really exaggerate the size of those petals and use the echoing to make sure you don't have any gaps in your quilting. You might be wondering why I keep saying quilt a half-heart shape and make it merge into the spine. Well, that's because if you don't, you might get something that looks a little bit like this, where it runs into the stem of the feather a little bit, and it makes it a little bit hard to set up your next one. But what you can do, if that happens, is just get on the right track. Bounce right back out and start adding your petals as normal. And once you echo around it and really fill it in, you won't even be able to see the little misquilt right there. I don't even want to call it a mistake, we'll call it a misquilt. And don't forget to use those swirls. If you're not sure what to do next, or if you don't have enough space to quilt a feather, just add those swirls in there to help you fill in the space in as much as you can. So one last feather meander, and as you're working your way around, you'll find your own flair and find a good rhythm that works for you. So to recap the feather meander, you're going to start by quilting that elongated swirl. You're going to add your first arc kind of shape. It's going to be a little bit different than the other ones. And then you're going to quilt your half-heart shapes to help you work your way around the outside of that spine, coming all the way to the bottom, and then echoing back out so you have a finished feather meander. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know if you have any questions or visit me at quiltingismytherapy.com. Happy quilting!